How is everybody doing? It's your boy, Flip Kiki, your coach of the Philadelphia Flygons, and welcome to week 5 of HDL Season 3. Last week, big loss, tough loss. We got a little too ambitious with our double sweep prep and got rolled because I was on the defensive back foot the entire time. And after that, well, I decided it was time for some new faces. Before we get into who I am playing this week, I'm going to go over what I did. So as you can see for maybe the team here, a couple mons are gone. So free agency transactions, we're allowed 4 per season. I have made 3 of my 4. I had a couple teams laid out. I had a Dragapult team I almost went with. I almost had a Terrakion team I went with. But I ended up siding on the Rillaboom team. Now, Aegislash has been dropped for Rillaboom. OnGuard has been kicked off the team, but his son, OnGuard Jr., the Doublade, has been led on the team in place of Vileplume. So I have dropped Aegislash for Rillaboom, I have dropped Vileplume for Doublade, and I have dropped, probably the most interestingly, Mega Absol for Mega Beedrill. I wasn't sold on Beedrill at first, and then my trusty team building sensei, Yeroon, suggested Beedrill. All he had to do was show me the speed stat that I was not aware of, and, well, I was sold. Beedrill, my team has so much pivot now, and I love playing the pivot style, so it really suited my team. And Rillaboom has obvious synergy with Hawlucha, which just makes my team even better. So our team is drastically different now. Hopefully that will propel us to wins, because the games we've lost badly, and the games we have won, we have barely won. So hopefully this will allow us to get some bigger wins, or just more wins, period. Now this week we are facing Callisto of the Brooklyn Banettes. He's also 2-2. We've never played him before, since he's another one of the new faces of the league. He's rocking with his team Clefable, Skarmory, Zergatry, Mienshao, Jellicent, Armaldo, Mega Venusaur, Flygon, Delphox, Weavile, and Licky Licky. That is a very solid, balanced offense draft team, if I have ever seen it. Clef is obviously very scary. Mega Venusaur shenanigans. His Weavile has been very reliable, and his Zergatry has swept someone, and Skarmory is a very good draft mon. So he has a very solid team. So this week I kept it, again, rather simple. Now, starting off with Regret, the Choice Banded Rillaboom. You can't get more reliable than Banded Boom. That speed is to outspeed Jolly Zergatry. Grassy Glide, obviously. We have U-Turn, and then we have Superpower and Knockoff. Knockoff is just for good utility. Can hit, Jellicent, for some reason, if I'm not clicking Grassy Glide, I don't know why I would use Jellicent. It's good for Clef. Knocking off Clef's item is very important. Knocking off Skarm's item is very important. Grassy Glide is just for good damage all around. Superpower is to power through some of the walls. It deals with Licky Licky. It deals with Weavile. It'll deal with Skarm. So a bunch of maybe more defensive mon Superpower can try and power through with. Grassy Glide is probably going to be the main button I'm clicking, or U-Turn if I need to start pivoting around, drawing things in. And Knockoff might be a very important utility thing. It's basic Banded Rillaboom. It's not really too exciting. For synergy with Rillaboom, one might think I would bring Hawlucha, but it's not rocking Grassy Seed or Unburden this week. It's just Mold Breaker, Life Orb, Swords Dance, Hawlucha. Now, the funny thing, I'll give Sandy a little bit of credit, because Sandy did help me with this one. I didn't know what my 5th mon was, or my 6th mon was going to be. I had Rillaboom, Mudsdale, Doublade, Beedrill, Rotom, but I didn't know what the 6th mon was. Tyrantrum was definitely not getting brought. Tyrantrum gets destroyed by this team. But the rest of the mons, I was like, I don't know who to bring, and I was just going to let him pick a random mon. Well, you wouldn't know what mon he's picking, but I was just going to let him pick a random one. But then Sandy was like, wait, hold on. Moldbreaker Hawlucha is pretty funny here, because Moldbreaker Hawlucha goes through unaware. So a Swords Danced Brave Bird from Life Orb Hawlucha will OHKO a max defense, max HP Clef after rocks. It has the speed to outspeed max speed Mienshao, just some HP for some added bulk, and that's really it. Thunder Punch is for Skarm if I don't feel like getting the close combat drops. Also for Jellicent if I don't want to take the Brave Bird damage. Other than that, that's really all Mold Breaker's for. The only reason I have Mold Breaker is for Unaware Clef. Obvious Sweeper Halucha didn't really do much because that's a lot of commitment as well. I wanted to use this as kind of a revenge kill mon if I want to. This thing can come in revenge kill with Brave Bird or CC on things. It can draw things out and draw things in. So this might be a helpful hard switch button, or this might be my late game cleaner as well. I don't know, but I have him. Moldbreaker Halucha is an interesting, funny tech for Clef, and Life Orb gives him some extra damage. So we'll see how he goes. Rindoberry Mudsdale. Now, Rindoberry Mudsdale eats a attack from Venusaur, obviously. Grass move on Mudsdale. It will eat it with a Rindoberry, hit back with a high horsepower. Mind you, we're running high horsepower instead of EQ because Grassy Surge weakens the power of Earthquake. So we have to run high horsepower on Mudsdale from now on if I'm bringing Rillaboom. But I have Sand Tomb. Now, the interesting thing about Sand Tomb is that Sand Tomb will help me 1v1 Clef. Now, Sand Tomb won't be doing the turn lead damage if it's Magic Guard Clef. If it's Unaware Clef, Sand Tomb is very, very nice because it'll do the turn lead damage. Magic Guard Clef, it still traps it, and I still keep clicking Iron Head. Mudsdale wins the Iron Head war against the Moonblasts if Clef is in and the grassy terrain is up. Stealth Rocks as well. Stealth Rocks are important, again, to OHKO that Clef with Brave Bird later on in the game. It's also useful for calcs against Skarms, calcs against Jellicent, and calcs against Venusaur. So this thing has the funny Sand Tomb button. It can trap other things too. If it needs to trap, per se, maybe it needs to trap Venusaur and kill it with high horsepowers because it knows it can live a grass move. Stuff like that. Sand Tomb might be interesting later on, and hopefully I don't miss it. But Rindoberry Mudsdale, max defense, max HP, it's Mudsdale. What else would I be running without that set? I mean, I don't need to creep anything because I have crept that speed tier with my Doublade. I was originally going to run Akaberry Doublade, but that was completely redundant because Eviolite just basically saves the same amount of damage that Akaberry would do, and it stays on me. I underestimated the overwhelming power of Eviolite because Akaberry is one-time use, and Eviolite just keeps it the whole time. This speed tier out-creeps a Licky Licky, okay? If Licky Licky doesn't have any speed investment, which I'm assuming that it doesn't, this investment in speed outspeeds the Licky Licky and clicks Toxic. Shadow Sneak does like 70% to a Delphox. It's also useful against Jellicent. Toxic is for Jellicent. It's for Clef to check if it has Magic Guard or Unaware, or just for most of his walls. Iron Head also for Clef. Did I mention that Clef is one of the best mons in draft, and I'm prepping a lot for it because Clef is scary? Yes, Clef is scary. You don't want to underestimate Clef ever. Iron Head also helps against Armaldo if he ends up bringing Armaldo. And Screech is funny because if, let's say, something tries to switch in on this, like, what would assume it's going to take a Doublade? Like Venusaur. If Venusaur is trying to switch in on Doublade, or if I'm in on, like, Weavile, and I know Weavile is not going to stay in on me, I throw out a Screech, per se, maybe, like... Yeah, maybe Venusaur switches in. Then I hit the Venusaur on the Screech switch in, and then Iron Head started doing a lot of damage. So it's almost like not clicking Swords Dance, but clicking Screech instead. You might as well just click Swords Dance, but I have Screech because it's funny. Mega Beedrill, this thing's stupid. Once I started prepping this thing, I realized how good this thing is. This thing gets so many good moves and adaptability. A super effective move. So hitting Delphox with Drill Run is just as powerful as hitting it with Poison Jab. So, like, I mean, what's the point here? A Poison Jab for Clef, X Scissor for just Bug Stab, U-Turn obviously for the pivot, and knockoff if I need a heavy knockoff. This thing comes in revenge kills. This thing will just kill a bunch of shit. Mega Beedrill, scary. Rotom Heat. Bulky special defensive Rotom Heat this week. I didn't have a big special defensive mon. This thing is kind of helpful. It's also passively defensive. It just has a bunch of HP. But Rotom, this is Lefty's special defensive Rotom. I forgot I was taking Shadow Ball off for Defog. Volt Switch will do the same thing. I need to play Rotom like I was playing Jolteon last season. Just use him for pivot, use him for utility, at least in this battle. He's not really going for kills. I have triple crept, something trying to out-creep Rotom, because I gave away that I've been double creeping, and I literally have on video that I've been double creeping everything. So now I'm going to triple creep on this Rotom for this week, because why the fuck not? I really only needed HP otherwise, because I was maxing out a Spadef. So that's really it. The standard bulky Rotom. I have Will-O-Wisp, things that are scary. I can cripple things, mostly Weavile. If I can get a Will-O-Wisp on Weavile, that would be huge. Volt Switch, just pivot in and out, obviously, because we have pivot. Do I pivot on this? No. We have pivot. We have Volt Turn. Love Volt turn. Overheat, it's a standard. Even though Venusaur is thick fat, it still will do a bunch of damage to Venusaur. It'll help against Weavile. It'll do big damage to Skarm, even though Volt Switch would be doing damage to Skarm anyway. It'll still help. Overall, the team's pretty simple, which is a good thing. With a new team, I'm not trying to play anything too fancy. Probably the fanciest thing I have is Rindoberry on Mudsdale or Screech on Doublade. I mean, Life Orb Hawlucha is pretty fancy, but it might actually work. They might clown me for not running on Burden again, but do I care? Not really. But hopefully we can catch a win this week, get the season back on track. So without further ado, let's get into the battle. How is everybody doing? We are here, and there's no Clefable! What? What? That's what's baffling me right now. No Clefable and no Weavile. Two of his biggest threats just not here. Zerk, also not here. Mienshao, which I didn't prep for, also not here. Licky Licky, not here either. Very interesting team comp that he brought. I'm interested to see where this can go. I'm honestly, maybe some like weird Delphox shenanigans. Alright, so I gotta figure out what the lead is here. Banded Rillaboom actually does not do much to this team. It deals with Flygon and Jellicent, but Jellicent might have a Grass Barrier or something. It does neutral to Armaldo. Rillaboom's not the best here. Beedrill, I mean, he brought things that do well against my scary mons. Hawlucha late game is also looking iffy. This is probably going to be a very back and forth chippy game. Beedrill outspeeds everything, though. Like, extremely reliably. I just lead Beedrill. Or at least he has, like, Scarf Delphox or something. I think if I lead Beedrill and he leads Delphox, I go hard Rotom. I think that's the play. I'm going to lead Beedrill, though, so he can get Mega'd. He can get Mega'd already. I'm going to lead Beedrill and leads Delphox. Scarf Delphox is scary. I'm already scared of Scarf Delphox. I'm convinced that this is Scarf Delphox because he led with it. Scarf Delphox actually kind of runs straight on my team. I'm not going to front. Scarf Delphox is low-key scary. So I'm going to go hard Rotom, like I said. Because I don't trust this thing. Like, Delphox is very good for him. But I have to risk me not outspeeding. We're going to run a calc right now. Delphox, Scarf Delphox. What does Scarf Delphox do to my Beedrill? Kills it. Kills it. I can't outspeed a Scarf Delphox. I go hard Rotom. If I click a move, Delphox is dead? Kind of. If I click knockoff right now, Delphox is dead. But do I risk Beedrill dying turn 1 with no upside? No. No, I do not. Psychic. This thing might be Scarfed. This thing may very well be Scarfed. But now I know this thing is Scarfed into Psychic, and this thing being Scarfed into Psychic is an issue, but if things Scarfed into Psychic, I Volt Switch into Rillaboom and call the bluff. So that I already know that this thing is Scarfed. Because I don't know. I'm feeling that this is Scarf Delphox. I could get a pivot off of this too if he knows that I know it's Scarfed. This might have been a good turn. We will see. We'll see what he does. Alright, decent start. I mean, that was just necessary damage on Rotom, but Rotom will start healing it back, which is okay. Psychic again. Alright. This is Scarf Delphox. This is Scarf Delphox. I know it's Scarf Delphox. I brought Rillaboom in. I click knockoff right now. Unless he brings in Venusaur. That's the only thing that could end up being negative for me. If he goes hard Venusaur here. My choice is either U-turn or knockoff. It's U-turn on his switch or go try and knock an item off right now. If this thing decides to stay in. Knock off if this thing decides to stay in, I think.
Regret.
It's not Scarf. It's not Scarf. Okay. Well, Rillaboom is dead already. That's not the best. But now I know that it's not Scarfed. I click knockoff. That's fine. I knocked off Scarm. Nice. Scarm's lefties are gone. I U-turn right in a Rotom here. I feel like that's very obvious. Tailwind's understandable. It's either Wisp what's coming in. Wisping. I could Wisp Flygon coming in. Because Flygon kind of does run through the rest of my team. Wisp is good here regardless. Unless Delphox is coming back in. Which I think the better plays Volt Switch again. Yeah, Delphox is coming right back in. Pivot. Back in the Beedrill.
You fucking idiot! Colossal dumbass! Colossal moron!
This thing is now outsped. Why would I do that? Hold on. The Aegislash Shadow Sneak might act, or the Doublade Shadow Sneak. Oh, it's 52 to 65. Not the misclick. Don't forget about Tailwind, kids. I mean, this is either Fire move or Psychic. Do I have to sack Rotom to sell out the Tailwind? This thing outspeeds me. Or do I go Mudsdale? I go Mudsdale. Mudsdale can eat one of whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. The question is, rocks are high horsepower. He probably brings in Scarm on this. He's not gonna stay in. Unless he calls my bluff. If he stays in, he's a madman. The question is if he stays in predicting the rocks. If he stays in and calls a rocks bluff, he's a madman. He's either bringing in Scarm or staying in. Okay. I got rocks up. Venusaur is about to Mega and click a Grass move. Alright, I'm going to calc this. Mega Venusaur. Like, let's try Giga Drain on Mudsdale. Doesn't do much the first time. But Sand Tomb and High Horsepower do jack shit. This could be a Leech Seed. This could be a Growth. Do I go Hawlucha for that Brave Bird? How does Hawlucha do against this thing? Brave Bird wise. If I can get in without taking damage, take the next hit. The play might be hard Hawlucha here. I mean, high horsepowering for damage. Going hard Beedrill does not help me, I don't think. Yeah, hard Beedrill does not help. Rotom does not help. I think I have to go hard Hawlucha. Hard Hawlucha. What's he doing? Mega Leech Seed. Yes! Alright. I live one of whatever he's got. I live one of whatever he's got. And Hawlucha should outspeed the rest of his team. Now that I know that Delphox is not scarfed. Unless Flygon is scarfed. Yeah. What does more to Jellicent? Thunder Punch or Brave Bird? I am +2 attack on Hawlucha. +2. Brave Bird has a... Brave Bird just kills from here. Brave Bird, if Jellicent is 98%, Brave Bird has a 70% chance to kill. Let's check this roll. I got the roll! Hey! That recoil hurt. That recoil hurt. But now I get to hit anything I want for big dick damage. Anything gets hit for big dick damage right now. Unless they have priority. Something has to take a close combat. Or another Brave Bird. Which Beedrill can come in and capitalize on. Okay, I might have maneuvered around a bad situation. However, Mudsdale's chipped and Rotom's chipped. And I'm about to lose my Beedrill. Hawlucha is doing God's work. 70% roll. Alright, Armaldo. Am I clicking CC or Brave Bird on our Armaldo? Let me just look. I'm calcing so many times here. They do the same. And it might kill. I don't give him the satisfaction of killing them on. And Brave Bird gets another kill. Life Orb was killing me anyway, so... Oh, not the fucking notification. Life Orb was killing me anyway, I go it on my own terms. Alright, so Hawlucha is now dead. Albeit very productively. Beedrill does whatever it wants right now. Yeah, hello, Mr. Flygon. Ground move is scary, obviously. But the problem is 2 of my major damage dealers are dead, and I really have to protect Beedrill now. Like, I very much have to protect Beedrill. Does it just kill Flygon? If this is Scarf Flygon, however, it's scary. X-Scissor has a chance to kill. It's 87 to 100 on a 94 Flygon. Oh, God. X-Scissor has a 40% chance to kill. I just take the U-turn. I take the U-turn and kill next turn with Shadow Sneak. I kill with She D-Danced. That is okay. The Shadow Sneak kill. The Shadow Sneak kill from Doublade. No. Ironhead does, though. Okay. But I might not live this ground. I might not live this Earthquake. I don't live this Earthquake. I have to hope that I do and click Ironhead. Ooh, yeah! Doublade! I love Eviolite Doublade! Delphox comes in for the revenge kill. I'm pretty sure. Venusaur's a problem, though. I don't have much for Venusaur, especially if it has Leech Seed. I'm gonna have to Wisp it with Rotom. And then just... You know? I click Screech here. And I can't miss the Screech because I have no card. I click Screech. Earth Power kills me. Okay. That sack there was the proper sack. Because I don't think I don't think he has a grass move on this. So I have two options. I go Rotom to click Wisp and cripple it. I go Rotom, click Wisp, and cripple it. Beedrill, I don't think kills it. Mega Venusaur's back in. I'm doing so many fucking calcs. If it's defensive with Leech Seed, yeah. This is... No. I need to start whittling this thing down. If it has, like, Leech Seed, Sludge Bomb, what does Mudsdale do? It clicks Sand Tomb, and then Sand Tomb starts doing the turnly damage. I don't think this thing can touch Mudsdale. And if it has a grass move, that's cool. If it has a grass move, I have Rindo. So... I use Sand Tomb for this turnly damage and keep spamming Iron Head here. He has Giga, but I have Rindo. Yes! I got the Sand Tomb off. I go Hard Rotom now. Nope. Sand Tomb is gone. Yes. But I have Willow. But I have Willow. But I have Willow. The problem is this thing has Earth Power. I think I kind of just lose to this now. I was saying it earlier, but I think I just lose. Does Beedrill take an Earth Power? I don't think it does. I don't think Beedrill... Oh, Beedrill does take an Earth Power. Beedrill clicks U-turn. Beedrill doesn't kill Skarm, though. Beedrill just loses the Skarm, I think. I get a free U-turn. Oh, that did 48? He ran, like, full offensive Mega Venusaur. That's fine. That was the safer play. That was just straight up the safer play. Now I click X Scissor very comfortably. Now it's just a matter if Beedrill wins me the game. As I outspeed Delphox, Skarm has been knocked off. But does Skarm have Brave Bird? Yes, I lost. 2-0 loss. That is a 2-0 loss. GG. I got whittled, but am I mad at how I played this game? I don't know if I am. I did really need this win, but I honestly don't think I played that badly. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, but I'm going to call him now for our second interview of the season. Hey, what's up?
What's up? First of all, I just want to say good game, man.
That was GG. Yeah.
GG.
That was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I've been mad at how I've been playing games this season, but honestly, I feel like I don't know anything I misplayed there that was really stupid. I played solid. I had a frail team, and you have a bulkier team. Frail team like that usually loses the bulky team. For the way I played it, I think I played it well. Having Rillaboom towards the end would have been nice, but the way you led Delphox like that, I thought it was Scarf. So I was calling your bluff, thinking that it was Scarf Delphox, and you could only click Psychic at the beginning, so that's why I switched Rillaboom in like that. Because
I was scared, because I was like, yo, this is scary, because I'm like, wait, why would he switch in, like, and then now I know that you thought it was Scarf, so I'm like, wait, probably has, like, some sort of, like, bed crept me somehow. He's about to one-shot with Earthquake. So I almost switched out, too, because I was, like, really nervous. I'm like, yo, like, if something when that happens, when it's like, oh, someone weak against, like, Delphox and Rillaboom, that you just hard swap into, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a red flag. I'm scared.
Yeah. I think I clicked U-turn that turn anyway, like, assuming for you to switch out.
Yeah.
But I almost convinced myself that it was Scarf. And the way you were playing it, I think anyone could have been convinced that it was Scarf Delphox. And I realized, like, I know you're smart, I know you prep well. The way you led like that, and it was on Beedrill, I'm like, wait, Scarf Delphox just runs through my whole team. This is actually a problem. And
I don't even
then
know what item it was actually.
Scarf Delphox was actually a really good bring if you brought it. I was like, wait,
Oh,
Scarf
I brought
Delphox. It was the expert belt? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, this thing is fucking nasty if he brought it, but no. I mean, so I tried a U-turn there, and I died. Rillaboom at the end would have been nice, because I had superpower, so it had something for Skarm.
Yeah, I was getting a little nervous. Then I'm like, all right, like I knew there was a way where I can somehow like maneuver this.
Yeah, well,
Then, like,
I
last
thought
couple turns,
once the beginning was going badly, I'm like, wait, he might just 5-0 me here. There was one point I'm like, he might just 5-0 me. I might be just like I did last week. And then I had that Hawlucha turn. I'm like, this Venusaur is not clicking an attacking move right now. And even if it does, Hawlucha can take 2 of whatever he brings. So I could just switch in Hawlucha here and get a free Swords Dance and scare this thing out and get 2 kills. So I'm happy on how I played Hawlucha. Doublade, if I Shadow Snuck Flygon, I don't know. That crit didn't matter with Iron Head because it was like 40%.
Yeah, 45. Yeah.
I don't know if Shadow Sneak was killing.
I picked a move and canceled the move at least 3 or 4 times that turn because I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
if he had Shadow Sneak, I'm cooked.
I did the calc for Shadow Sneak, and if you were just what was that Flygon? You were lefties, right? Were you?
If you had Swords Dance, because I knew I couldn't one shot with Earthquake.
Doublade was not Swords Dance. It was Iron Head, Shadow Sneak, Toxic, and it actually had Screech.
Wow, because I was like, all right, I can hit Roost here, and like I can because he can't kill me.
Well, when you killed it with Earth Power with Venusaur, I clicked Screech that turn. And that might have actually won me the game if he was able to live that Earth Power, because Venusaur just dies to a Beedrill the next turn. You'd have to switch. I would U-turn on whatever you had, so I would just U-turn on Skarm, get Rotom. Yeah. Hawlucha had Thunder Punch and CC as well.
That Doublade turn, I was so nervous because I was like, okay, I could Roost and then another Dragon Dance. I was like, if it's Swords Dance, I can't kill with Shadow Sneak. So it's like, I'm not with Shadow Sneak, with Earthquake. So I'm like, yo, he can legit just run through me with Shadow Sneak. So it's like, all right, I'm not gonna do anything. And then like you Iron Head anyway. I'm like, okay,
yeah. Rindo Berry Mudsdale. You brought a bunch of threats that I was like, that Sand Tomb thing on Mudsdale. Mudsdale also had Iron Head. Mudsdale was to 1v1 your Clef if you brought it. Because even if you were Magic Guard, Sand Tomb would still keep Clef in, and Clef doesn't have much to hit a Mudsdale with. And I could just Iron Head the Mudsdale. I can Iron Head the Clef until it died.
Yeah. So I wasn't gonna like bring Clefairy and like try a weird because I had Tailwind. I was like, all right, if I could do something with like have some sort of like speed control thing, I was gonna bring like Clefable with like Thunder Wave or just like speed control and somehow just could pass all like baton pass like a belly drum to Flygon and you know after Pokemon are paralyzed. I don't even gotta set up a Dragon Dance. I can just outspeed. So
fair
I was,
enough.
Kind of going through that. I'm like, no, I don't really like the Doublade. You know, nah, the Beedrill, Rotom. Like if that was like a Salt Vest, like I was like, I don't really.
Yeah, Mudsdale had that Rindo just in case you had like Xurkitree Energy Ball or something, and you were trying to catch me lacking with Energy Ball and just hit Mudsdale with Zerk, and I would just die. I'm like, nope, I eat the Rindo and high horsepower you back. So I thought that was an interesting bring.
It would have been good too because I think Delphox is like Grass Knot, and that would have been like, I can one shot him with Grass Knot. I was like, oh, next thing you know, I'm dead to an Earthquake.
So I was shocked at how useful Rindo was, and that Rotom was max defense. It was not max defense; it was max Spadef Rotom. If I wasn't max Spadef Rotom, actually, that game would have been much quicker with how many hits Rotom was able to take there. It had Overheat as well, but I didn't end up clicking it.
Oh yeah, I was predicting like the Overheat. I'm like, okay, I can live with Overheat. Like,
it does nothing to Venusaur. I calced it. You weren't as defensive as I thought you were. It seemed like you were like max. It seemed like you were more offensive Venusaur than bulky.
Yeah, max HP, max special attack.
Okay, I think I was doing calcs for if it was like max Spadef, max HP, or had some Spadef investment or something. Overheat was doing like 30%, 33%, because that Rotom didn't have any special attack investment. I don't think. Yeah, I had 4.
And I almost hit Sludge Bomb on that turn before. Then you switched it. And I was like, you know what? Nope, just hit the thing in front of me.
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to hit the thing in front of me unless there's a very obvious pivot going on, and I'm like, okay, I obviously pivot on this. So it's like, yeah, no, you're good.
So many of my games, it's like I overthink 3 steps ahead. And it's like, wow, if I just did first thing I thought of.
Oh, don't worry. You've seen my games. They've been rough. My games have been rough this season. But I'm okay with this loss because it was my first team playing with this new, or first week playing with this new team, and I honestly feel like I played with it to almost the best of my ability. I did have that tailwind misclick, but that wasn't me playing the team wrong. I was just like, okay, I pivot into this, I go into Beedrill for free. That was a great pivot into Beedrill for free if tailwind wasn't up, and I forgot about tailwind being up. I was like, oh shit, why would I do that? Tailwind's up.
I've done that many times.
I was getting ahead of myself. I was like, that was a great pivot. We keep going, switching Beedrill, keep the momentum going.
It's like you're thinking so much, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, that, and boom, I got this. And it's like, oh wait, there it is. Yeah, I do it all the time.
Otherwise, GG's. I am what 2-3 now. You're chilling at 3-2. I didn't.
Coming off after I lost last week, so I was like, all right, man, I gotta do something this week. I gotta get this.
That's why I had to make my team changes because with after last week, that old team was not gonna work. That old team was just jank. It wasn't working. So I had this. I forgot to put the skull emojis over the dead mons again. My God. Otherwise, yeah, GG's. Best of luck to you the rest of the season. We might see each other playoffs again.
I hope we do.
I hope we do too. It was actually a pretty good game. So I'm happy that we had a decent game going. This is probably one of my first decent games I've played this season. So
no hacks or anything.
No hacks. It was just pretty solid.
Yeah, it didn't even matter because he would have killed anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of the crits or stuff that was happening, they were all guaranteed anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, GG's. I'll see you around. Yeah. Best of luck to you, man.
Right, have a great day.
You too.
All right, peace out.
Peace. Chill stand up dude. I like him. I like Cal. I hope he comes for the rest of the seasons because he's a nice he's such a nice guy. Battle was quick enough. Interview took a little bit, but like, am I mad about this loss? Sure, because I'm 2-3 with a -9 differential. But am I mad at how I played this team? No. I could shoot for a low seed. A 500 record might end up with a low seed in this league. So I just have to start trying to win some games. If I get used to how I play this team, if I play it like I played it today, don't forget about Tailwind and maybe get some less bulky teams with things I just can hit a little bit easier, I'll be in shape for some pretty good games. I'm hopeful. This week has made me hopeful. I'm looking at this loss as an improvement. It almost feels like a win because I might be watching the video back and you might have seen me yelling at myself for some egregious misplays. But what I'm thinking about right now, I really can't think of anything wrong that I did besides that Tailwind misclick, which was at like turn 8. And I came back from it. I swapped the momentum back and then I realized my team just loses to Mega Venusaur. Oopsie. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you next week for week 6. Don't forget I have the bye week 8. So hopefully we can go on like a 2-game win streak into the bye. But until then, peace.